Hello everyone, welcome to a new episode of Brew with Memli. I'm Mehmet from Memli Coffee Lab, and welcome to a brewing experience like no other. Have you ever wondered how to unlock the amazing flavor of your decaf at home? Join us and I'm going to show you how we brew our latest release from Colombia. Here I'll unveil the secrets behind how we brew our EA decaf. So get your kettle ready and your brewers, we're going to start right now. So first let's dive into the coffee itself. As I said, it is from Colombia, from the south of Colombia, Nariño region, at 1850 meters above sea level, and it's a washed EA decaf, or washed sugarcane decaf process. So you have the first wash process by removing the skin of the fruit and then soaking it into a tank, a water tank, before being dried, and the decaffeination process with sugarcane. And what happens is that ethyl acetate of the sugarcane will ferment naturally and remove about 97% of the caffeine of your coffee. Getting the right tool is really important to brew this decaf. And first and foremost, having a great grinder will help you avoid having too much fines here. And I'll suggest to grind slightly finer than usual, and you'll understand why. A weighing scale, a carafe, and for this recipe, I'm going to use the Hario switch, but you can use your favorite dripper. So to get the best out of an EA decaf process, I suggest a medium grind size. I'm on an 8 on my Ditting, which is equivalent to about 24 on a Comandante, 17-ish on a Baratza Encore. All right, to make this coffee delicious, as I said, I'm using the Hario switch with our Hario switch recipe, using 15 grams of coffee for 230 grams of water. The first pour is 60 grams at 80 degrees Celsius, then 60 grams at 90 degrees Celsius. Then we flip the switch into immersion, and then we will pour 110 grams at 90 degrees Celsius. So we have drip, drip, immersion. It's a 3-pour structure with a cold bloom or slightly colder bloom in the first pour. Let's start. So our first pour of 60 grams in a drip mode. And we are going to let it bloom for 40 seconds as usual. Another thing, I've been using here the Sibarist hybrid filter, the B3. It's a filter that I really enjoy nowadays, so I use that one for this recipe. But feel free to use a classic Abaca filter or Hario filter. It works as well. After 40-45 seconds, I'm gonna pour my second step of 60 grams until 120. And that's why I use 80 and 90 so that it doesn't take too long for the kettle to heat up. And here I will wait until 1 minute and 30 seconds to 1 minute and 45. Basically, as long as all the water goes through the coffee bed. And here I see like I'm kind of 1 minute 40. I see the surface, so at 1 minute 45, I will just pour everything in the center quite aggressively until 230. So we have here a 1:15 ratio, a little bit stronger than the classic 1:16, but that's because we're using the switch recipe. And then that, I believe, will create a very nice and intense cup of coffee, will help you perceive those notes of brown sugar, hazelnuts, and lemon drops. And I'm going to let it steep for about 1 minute. So at 2 minutes and 30 seconds, 2 minutes 35, I will then release the brew until it reaches the end time between 3 minutes and 3 minutes and 30. So 2 minutes and 35. And he should take, a good minute or a little less to go through the coffee bed. To better enjoy this coffee, I suggest a tulip-shaped cup that will intensify the notes. Often decaf is a little bit softer, a little bit more mellow, so that will intensify the flavor notes. Also now I approach decaf slightly differently than before. Me, decaf is just another process, like natural, like anaerobics, or like washed. And so I don't necessarily roast with a lower charge temperature or with a more extended development time. I do the same as another process. It's just a matter of coffee and taste. And I'm done at 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Let's clean up and start tasting. So on the smell, it's extremely sweet, more like a brown sweetness, nutty. That's where the hazelnut comes. We don't taste or smell too much of fruitiness first. So let's first pour it. And I like, as I said, in those tulip cups so that it can really intensify the notes. Immediately you have a super nice balance of brown sugar, hazelnut at the finish, and in the middle, the lemon drops. I picked this coffee because we were out of decaf, and I always end my dinner with some chocolate dessert, because that's the perfect pairing, basically. That's the perfect pairing, basically. Having a stronger ratio intensify even more the creaminess of this coffee. The texture is incredible. It's very smooth on cupping, but with the intense ratio plus the immersion style, we are really intensifying and highlighting the texture of this coffee. The aftertaste is very lingering and smooth. It's not dry, it's very elegant. And we have an actual medium to juicy acidity here. It's a very lively cup of coffee for decaf. It's something I love to do in our tasting, is to throw decaf there. And some people love it, but they don't know it's a decaf. I never say it's a decaf until after the taste. We really encourage you to try those brewing techniques. So remember, I use a switch, but you don't really have to do it if you don't want to do it. Just use a stronger ratio, a 1:15 ratio, with 2 pour initially and then immersion, or you can do the classic 3 or 4 equal pour. Just try to use a cold bloom for the first pour. And don't forget the star of our brew, the EA Decaf from Las Galeras, available for purchase. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your coffee friends. See you next time for more brewing.